Hello everybody, how is it going? My name is Lucas and welcome to the Cajun Guitar Gear Podcast. Today we got a lot of juicy things on the dock we're going to be looking at. We have some brand new gear from Charvel EVH. Gonna kind of re-go over some stuff from ESP. Revv has launched a special edition generator. Lichtlaerm has put out a pedal with Simon Sludge of Cult Audio. I think that's his pedal's name. And we have a pretty prominent guitar maker basically ruining another one. So let's jump right in with the first story. Gibson has released their 1959 Humbucker Collector Series. And if you're watching this right now, some PAF pickups, and they're in this nice little leather-bound case. You get a Gibson Pickup Workshop certificate with this. It's very nice. Let's read a little bit about it, and then I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant. Pickup Shop has created these sought-after pickups using 3D scanning, scientific analysis, and reverse engineering, developing the most accurate reproductions. Introducing the 1959 Humbucker Collector Series 1 from Gibson Pickup Shop. Gibson's original patent-applied for humbuckers from the 1950s are the holy grail of humbucking tone. Highly influential with many imitations. The Pickup Shop has recreated these sought-after pickups using 3D scanning technology, scientific analysis, and reverse engineering, delivering the most accurate representations. All those buzzwords. Can you guess how much these pickups are? You probably already know from the title, but these pickups are $1,000. That's $500 a piece for a PAF, right? And this is what perturbs me. This is 100% a cash grab from Gibson. They are trying to exploit their customer base. Because let's be real, like the super high end stuff that they release, like these are for like collectors and for specific people who are into this kind of stuff. And this is 100% who's aimed at. This is not aimed at people like me, all right? This is aimed at those collectors for $1,000. And all they give you for $1,000 is some fancy case for your pickups and a little certificate, right? This is what pisses me off about this. They use 3D scanning, scientific analysis, and reverse engineering for a pickup they made. So basically, they had to re-engineer a pickup that they already made, which makes no sense to me, Gibson. You should have this like on file somewhere. And scientific analysis, literally all you have to do is find one that you have laying around somewhere. You get the frequencies on it, you see what the magnets they use, and you can make it. I'm sorry, but it does not seem all that difficult. And I like the little jab at it's been subtly imitated. Yeah, and a lot of people have done it a lot better than you. I don't really know that many people who are pining for a 59 PAF sound. And if you are, and these pickups are aimed at you, I'm very happy for you. I'm very happy you finally have something you have been looking forward to. But this is ridiculous. It really is. $1,000 for a 59 PAF. This is another great thing in the long line of Gibsons, like their guitar NFTs, which, God, that was a massive flop. Holy crap, I really think that's some of the worst stuff they've ever did. And suing people for no reason. They did that for, they're very famous for that, is suing people. Some of them was legitimate, and they did shut down some people who didn't exactly have a license agreement with them. But this is just another long line of kind of like on-brand stuff for Gibson, I guess you could say. Yes, $1,000 for PAF pickups. And if you would like them, you can get them from Gibson themselves, from Gibson.com. I guess that's where you would buy that from. Moving on, we are going to be looking at some new guitars that have launched, considering this is NAMM week, by the way. I'm filming this on Saturday. I don't know exactly when it's going to go. It's going to go Saturday or Sunday, or the 20th or 21st of January 2024. This is NAMM week. NAMM is going to be from Thursday to Sunday. So everything I'm talking about here, this is not going to be at NAMM. The EVH guitars, because EVH is made by Fender. Same thing with Charvel we're looking at. And they're not going to be at NAMM because Fender has been boycotting the show pretty much ever since COVID. So the new, I don't say boycotting, I just haven't been there. Boycotting, been there, haven't. It's the same thing in my book. All right, so new EVHs. We have a Wolfgang Special, but it is in the awesome EVH red with the black and white stripes going on. This actually looks cool. I really think they should have did this first. They have the other stripe ones here. Forgive me, I don't exactly know if the white and black and the yellow and black, I don't know if those already released before. So when you click on it, it doesn't exactly tell you if it's... Oh, it is new. Okay. Yes, completely ignore everything I said. So it looks like all of the iconic striped guitars are here. This looks awesome. I really like the black and yellow one. These are cool. I don't know what took them so long to do this, but I'm glad that they're here. They're really tight. And then we also have the EVH striped series circles. I think he used this on like a very famous song. I don't exactly know which one. Unchained, I think this was used on. Correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong. I think that's what he used. The striped circles one on. We have a Wolfgang standard with the exotic zebra wood. I am not the biggest fan of zebra wood on fretboards. I had a guitar with one time and it was okay, but I think this looks really cool. And then we also have the Wolfgang standard with exotic black walnut. This looks pretty tight. It's kind of almost like a tamed down Koa, sort of, is what this looks like. Then we have the Wolfgang special with a ebony fretboard, but it's kind of like it's a black and silver burst, and you have an ebony fretboard on it. Let's jump in here. And are all of these new? No, it is just the black burst, the silver burst one. But kind of awesome if the silver kind of went out farther up on the horns. Personally, that would be a little bit cooler to me, because it kind of looks like a toilet bowl way it's set up right now. But these offerings from EVH are pretty tight. So let's move on to the cousin guitars of EVH. That is going to be Charvel. Now, what they've done here is Charvel and Jackson, they're owned by Fender too, so they're sort of the same thing, right? So Jackson launched some made in Japan guitars. I think last year they launched those, or last year or this year they launched some made in Japan guitars. Can't exactly remember which year it was, but Charvel is doing that now too. So we have the Hum Single FRM San Dimas. We have the same thing, but this one is black. It's black with gold hardware. We have a red one with a maple board, and the black one has like an ebony board. These are both slam. I love made in Japan guitars. They're so awesome. These are going to be about $1,700, which for a made in Japan guitar, that's a good price. Considering everything is so expensive these days, these look fantastic. I'd probably grab a red one personally, and I would swap. I'd get rid of this chrome. Just put it black. Just do black and red. Because black and red is awesome. You have black fret markers. It would match up perfect. What are the pickups in here? Come on, let's see. What are the pickups? Send me those picks. What are the pickups? You have a Goto trim arm. Goto is Japanese, so it's based. That's really cool. Electronics. You have a Duncan JB TB4, and it's some Duncans for the single coils. Never played these, so I really don't exactly know how they sound. Surprised I don't have any EMGs. You also have another made in Japan, but it's a SoCal style guitar. It's sort of the same thing. You have a Floyd, but this one has like a pegboard on it. Now we also have a Pro Mod Relic San Dimas this is double humbuckers. You can get it in red. Also, it's like relic. The black one, and the red one look awesome. That's the best two to me. Is it Duncan's in here? Yeah, Duncan. It's JB, and you have a 59 in the bridge. And these are 1,500. Yeah, it's 15. It's not this is the pro style. I'm still grabbing those made in Japan ones for that price. We also have a super stock DK22 with ebony fingerboard with gloss black. We have a Pro Mod DK24 in black, and we also have some new bases. So yeah, you're looking at 1,600 for this one too. This one's like really simple, but it looks really cool. You have it's your typical 2-point Floyd, not Floyd, it's your typical 2-point Fender bridge. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. And the Pro Mod one right here. This one is this one's 1,200 for the Pro Mod. Right there. But these prices are actually okay. It might be a little inflated, but they're actually okay. Then we have some new bases. We have a Pro Mod San Dimas in satin friar red. Hell yeah, I love me some red with a maple. Wow, this looks awesome. This looks really cool. I really love this bass right here. That bass is going to run you 1,000. And then we have, it's also in a natural mahogany, excuse me. It's a natural mahogany. And you also have a Pro Mod San Dimas bass is a PJ4. Is a the other red one we looked at was a PJ4 MAH. Sonic Blue for there, and this is really cool. You have a Pro Mod DK24, and it comes in Malibu Sunset, which it's like yellow and then like pink, and then like it goes some purple and then it goes to black. This one looks cool. I really love this finish a lot. And the other one is it's going to be in bubblegum pink. These two finishes are awesome. I love these. I wish you could get them almost anything. These are so great. So Charvel is bringing the heat. I really do like a lot of the stuff that they have. And you see this limited green glow right here? I wish they do that in red. It's like ash like that. That's like one of my favorite finishes like that. of all time. So EVH and Charvel bringing the heat. I really like these. They're simple. They're to the point. They're cool. It's really nice stuff. Really like to see it. Kind of revisiting what we talked about last episode. ESP released their ESP Presents. Basically everything we talked about last episode of the new Les Paul Juniors and all the new stuff that's here. That is all here. If you're watching right now, I'm just kind of scrolling across. There's a Les Paul Junior right here. They basically like talking with artists, going over specs. The artists are talking about the stuff that they've, using them and they like them. One thing I want to say is that on the little Les Paul Juniors, they have a recessed tom, which is awesome. Which recessed toms are the best ones. If you like, I don't really like toms that much, but recessed ones are awesome. It's the only way to have it, in my opinion. And they have Caleb from Beartooth going over some stuff. And they have Gary Holt talking about his. And basically all the artists are coming in and they're talking about theirs and they're talking about all of the new stuff. That's pretty much all it is. It's just kind of rehashing all the stuff we already talked about. I just kind of wanted to show that to you. If you want to go watch the video, just head over to it's on ESP Guitars YouTube page. You can go check that out. So Iconic Guitars has gone through it. The Ringer. I'm gonna save this for last. So let's go over some quick riffs real quick. All right, quick riffs, super fast. Quick riffs. Revv has launched a 10th anniversary edition of their flagship amp, the Genarator 120. Essentially, it's Revision B. It's their Mark III amplifier. I have a 100R behind me. You kind of can't, well, you can partially see it. I have a 100R behind me, which is the red channel edition of the normal one. Basically, this one is it's a limited edition. You have a limited edition chassis that's on it. And the tones of it are a little bit more raw. So it's a little bit different than the Revision A one. This is really cool. They're making 200 of them. And this one ships with EL34s stock when you order it. If you order them from anywhere else, like Sweetwater, for example, they come with 606s. So the voicing is a little bit different. You see it's some 4 EL34s right there. So that's something kind of new, something kind of cool they got going on. Rex Brown of still currently touring Pantera has his signature model, his Epiphone model. It's a Thunderbird. The electronics on it or some ProBucker 760 bass nickel cover plating pickups on there. I don't exactly know how this one's made. I imagine it's made in the Indonesian or Chinese factory. Price point, you're looking at $1,300 for this. Now this is something I'm really excited about. The Lichtlaerm out of Germany, they have released a pedal where they teamed up with Colt Audio, which is Simon Sledge from Nightmare, to make a distortion pedal. So it's kind of like, it's basically like a preamp pedal, and it also has an EQ on it. And to me, what this kind of reminds me of is it kind of reminds me of like an HM2 sort of, but it has just a little bit more different features on it. You have a gate on it, you have a very extensive EQ, you have level, gain, cut, boost, range, and you can bypass it. And my man, Mr. Taylor Danley, is gonna demo it for you real quick.
What's up, everybody? I am here with my good buddy Simon.
And this is Simon right here, and he talks about the pedal that they teamed up and they made it. If you want to purchase one, the initial first wave of pre-orders is out. They're going to be releasing a second one very soon, so go over to lichtlaermaudio.com and you can get yourself one. Now let's go back and talk about Iconic Guitars, all right? So the video I have up on screen, Iconic Guitars announces layoffs and reorganization. So let me give you a little bit of backstory, and I will explain exactly what this is. So Iconic Guitars is a guitar maker. Kevin on the screen is the CEO. They are out of California, right? So they're kind of a part of that, like, California elite builder kind of class. Like, I think Shure is out there. I believe they are. Anderson. Iconic is kind of like that, but they're not to the scale of what those other two brands are. But Iconic is really good, right? And they have made guitars for other people before. So, you know, they've white built for them. I believe that's what you call it. So they've made some of the Abasi USAs. They made some of those. They have made some of the Dave Friedman guitars. They made a few of those. And they may have made some other stuff I don't even know about, right? And their guitars are all really good. And even their guitars that they make, they're very solid. They're very good. They don't cut corners. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're very good guitars for what you get them for, right? And the reason that Iconic is shutting down and reorganizing is because BC Rich kind of screwed them over in a bad way. And I'll explain the story, and I'll kind of let you make of it what you will. So Kevin scaled up his business because BC Rich wanted him to build a bunch of guitars. So Iconic is very small, right? They're very boutique builder, right? BC Rich came to them and they're like, hey, can you build us some stuff? Iconic is the one who built all of the Stranger Things Warlocks, right? With the crackle and stuff like that. They were contracted to build 400 of those guitars. So they ordered all the supplies. They did everything they had to do. They got a bigger building. Well, BC Rich essentially ghosts them, right? It depends on how you look at it. Maybe Iconic should have protected themselves more and not bought stuff until they got paid up front. And I guess that's the risk you kind of take whenever you enter into a business venture with another business, and you front the money in respects that the other company is actually going to pay you. Well, that is not what happened, right? And FYI, BC Rich, one of the owners, is the guy from Five Finger Death Punch. And BC Rich essentially kind of sunk Iconic because Iconic did all of this stuff, bought all of this stuff, and they're supposed to produce 400 of the Warlocks. And the Warlock, if for those are watching, is this one right here. The one right here that in my mouth. So there's one right on the right side. Technically, Kevin's left, my right of his head. They were supposed to do 400 of these. They only did like 140, I believe. And Kevin still has all the stuff that they bought for it, and he's used his money to keep everything running, but he had to essentially lay off, stop production. He laid all of his workers off, and he talks about it here. This is a very heartbreaking video because you can tell Kevin is not lying when he's talking, and he actually kind of held himself back on a lot of this because he didn't really trash BC Rich at all. He literally just said all of the facts. And he's had to not pay some of his suppliers from what I've got from this video because he didn't have any money from BC Rich to pay him. So essentially, BC Rich kind of destroyed another company. I don't say destroyed them, but they're out for the count currently because Kevin says in the video he's looking for another building that is smaller because they had a small building, but they had to scale up because they were making more guitars, which is natural. And I'm kind of summarizing this, but this whole thing, watching the video, it got me kind of extremely angry because it's like no one should ever buy BC Rich ever again after this, because it's the point of that Warlock is that a Caler? Ugh, I'm sorry, I just noticed that a Caler. I don't like Caler bridges anyway. It's a very tragic situation. And I'm sure when Kevin went into this, he was looking at it as a great way to grow and get some cash flow in there because, like you said, he did have to scale up. And he even says in this video, 2023 was one of the biggest years that they've had because they've grown organically. Because I'm sure a couple of people watching this video may not even know who Iconic Guitars is. I knew who they were vaguely before watching this video, but it actually showed up on my recommended tab, and I watched it. And I remember seeing them at NAMM. I think I played them, but I remember seeing them. I just didn't really know much about them, to tell you the truth. But this whole situation is ass. Because everything that Iconic has ghost built or whitelisted for, all those guitars have been fantastic. Their guitars have been fantastic. The guitars that they build are great. From everything that I've heard and everything that I have heard and seen, all their guitars are great. And this is a terrible tragedy that BC Rich essentially hung them out to dry. They ghosted them and just didn't pay him. So I didn't have any plans to buy any BC Rich guitars, but I'm telling everyone not to buy them because this is absolutely crap. Like, you had an agreement and you didn't honor it. What really perturbs me about all this is there's 3 of the business owners. I don't exactly remember. The only one I remember is the Five Finger Death Punch guy. And I think BC Rich is basically just going to get away with this. I don't really see anyone holding BC Rich accountable. And I'm sure when Iconic went into this partnership, I assume that they have heard the things that BC Rich has done, because BC Rich has done this before. This is not the first time that they've contracted someone else to make stuff for them and then just not pay them. This is not the first time that this has happened, from what I understand. And this is Traffic. Six String TV actually did a video on it. I saw it on my recommended before I started filming. I'm probably going to go watch it after I do the video, and I'm sure he's probably just going to say a lot of the same stuff that I'm saying. But this it's tragically, and it absolutely sucks. Because what Kevin talks about in here is like everyone everyone who works for him is like his family, and he's saying he used a lot of his own savings to keep everything going, and he did not want to lay everyone off because it's like, people are depending on Iconic, to pay the bills and, to put food on the table, and then he can't do that anymore. And it's not like he did anything wrong. It's 100% BC Rich's fault. Now, going back to Iconic's side of this, maybe he could have structured the deal to where he wouldn't have been on the hook for so much stuff. Or maybe he should have demanded more money up front. Because there is a danger whenever you upscale your businesses on promises from people and you don't have any money delivered. Or maybe he had people at BC Rich that he trusted or friends that he knew, and he figured that they might pay him, or maybe he thought he could fix BC Rich. Because I'm sure he's heard of the stuff that they've done before. Maybe he thought this time would be different, but it doesn't look like that. It is. It's Zoltan is the five finger Death Punch guy I'm talking about, and Five Finger Death Punch is a very good, very big band, and I'm sure they have a lot of resources, but it's like, I don't think a lot of people know that Zoltan's name is attached to this, which they kind of should, because I realize now, dawning on me, that the new Andy James signature guitar that he just got, it is the BC Rich, so that makes sense that the other guitarist in Five Finger Death Punch gets his own signature guitar, BC Rich. But it's like, why are you not stepping up and paying your bills? Even if you have to use some of your own money or the band's money, you need to pay that in there to pay your bills to honor your agreements. But I'm sure Zoltan's not doing that because he doesn't, he's not going to throw his money in there to pay the stuff because he can just kind of write it off with the business. But anyway, this is the type of crap that I want to shine a light on. I'm sure KDH is also going to do a video about this. All of the guitar journalists are going to do a video about this. They'll probably take, a lot of people have been quitting YouTube videos, but I wanted to shine a light on this because this type of stuff happens a lot in the music industry, and a lot of people don't exactly know about it. There's a lot of backstabbing and shit talking and a lot of shady shit that happens. Kevin also says if you order a guitar, they are going to get it to you. They are going to finish out all of their orders. He had to lay a lot of people off because they didn't have any money because BC Rich screwed him over. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap things up. New things are probably going to be rolling out this week because it's going to be NAMM week. As stuff comes out, bigger stories, I may just do, like I've talked about a couple times, I may just do some one-off stuff, and then I may just recap it because the next time that we're going to be having a podcast, NAMM is going to be in full swing. I am not attending this year. Sadly, it pains me to say that, but I'm not attending because I can't exactly afford it. So I'll be here with you, and I'll record some stuff as new stuff comes out. I'm going to have friends there on the ground. Hopefully they can give me some videos of stuff. I'll kind of request some videos of stuff so I can, use it and post it on my shorts or something like that. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this podcast up. Thank you for spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Sub, like, share, do all that other good stuff. Leave a comment. What are you excited about NAMM? All right, guys, I'm going to check you later. Thank you for spending some time with me. I really do appreciate it. I'll catch you next one. Peace.